everyone. Here is another Instagram Live, our second one of today, with one of our playwrights from Create, our play festival that will be taking place March 25th through 30th. And I am going to be adding Marina Rebecca Chan to this right now, and Marina Rebecca Chan is the playwright. Tomorrow is the play that she wrote that's going to be in our festival. Yes! Yay, I'm so glad. So tomorrow will be going up on Monday, March 29th at 7 p.m. And so we have Marina with us today to talk a little bit about her play that she's written. Thank you so much for joining.
Yay, it's good to be here.
So I would love to just start this off today with like a brief synopsis of your play or anything you would want people to know about your play before they see it.
So yeah, as Danielle said, my play is entitled Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and it is set during these COVID times, and it is based around a family of three, a mother, a father, and a daughter, who are stuck in one room during lockdown, and they try to pass the time, but of course they get on each other's nerves like crazy, and things basically escalate, and one thing leads to another, and soon all that leads to realizations and shattering truths, and I won't say more. But basically, I guess the last thing I would say is the question is, will the family's belief in tomorrow save the day, or is there something else just as deadly as the virus at play? And I'll leave you with that.
Ooh, wow. Love that. And that's very, very intriguing. And I hope that audiences are able to come and discover the rest of the wonderful play you've written. So our next question is, what inspired you to write this play?
Well, I think that's pretty clear. This was definitely my way of trying to cope and make sense of these times. And I actually wrote it last August and September when everyone, when all this started, was hoping things would finally get better, but instead things were getting worse as we were headed into the winter. We still had a long haul in front of us, and also just like the waiting indefinitely, which is definitely, has contributed greatly to how difficult these times are, because you can't even count down. So it was basically all of that and the pain and the dread of these times. And I guess also like the feeling of powerlessness and, being on lockdown and feeling constricted or restricted. And then also taking into consideration our world suffering, our communal suffering, as well as our very personal suffering, depending on where each of us were in our lives when all this started and how things continued to develop. I think what's crazy about these times is, of course, we're all experiencing the pandemic, but, and also we have a sense of the world suffering at large, but at the same time, we're also experiencing the pandemic in our own very personal ways and, processing this time in our own very personal ways. And another thing I was definitely thinking about was essential workers versus non-essential workers, and how people's situations at these times are drastically different depending on what they've been called to do or not called to do. And so that was another huge thing that I was thinking about that led me to want to write this play, because me as an artist, I just had to stay home. And, in some ways I was feeling kind of inadequate at times. And I guess especially in the beginning of the pandemic, when so many artists, including myself, were feeling pretty drained and uninspired. And so there were definitely times that I was dealing with feeling, I guess, just extraneous, and also just guilty that there wasn't more I could do. And it's sad because I know artists, we're not considered essential workers, but I know we are essential, because while we're not, physically saving people's lives, I do very much think and very much believe that artists do help people psychologically and mentally, emotionally. So anyway, long story short, all of that contributed, to my wanting to write this play. And it was basically my take on lockdown, and basically thinking about how that extreme, almost surrealistic situation for a family, how that would manifest, And I was interested in how each family member is affected, and like how they all affect each other as well. And I guess what's interesting is, for the play, they're all in the same situation. They're all on lockdown with each other, and yet there's still very different degrees and variations of suffering and different degrees and variations of coping. So yeah, that was also another thing I was interested in exploring.
Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. That was so interesting to hear about, having read your play, and I think it's such a cool thing to know going into seeing your play for audiences. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. And then our next question, going off of that, I think it's a nice segue with what we were talking about. What do you hope audiences will gather from seeing your play?
Yeah, well, again, it's hard because I don't really want to give too much away, and I also very much just want to let the play speak for itself, as with any play. But I think overall, this is a play that very much actually just is. There are, I hope, many layers, and the piece certainly has a particular worldview, but it doesn't actually require viewers to adopt that same worldview. I think it pretty much just presents itself and allows different takes and different emotions to come up. And yeah, audience members can, feel however they want to feel or do whatever they want to after the play. The play doesn't strictly say, this is how you should feel, this is what you should do. That said, I think the play might, for example, have audience members think more deeply about their interpersonal relationships and relationships with the people they're closest with and the people that they live with. And I guess kind of just, they'll probably realize the immense power they actually have over others, even how their mood might affect others. One thing the play does examine is codependent relationships. So, it's possible that might also encourage viewers to examine and hopefully improve their own relationships and how they do affect others on all various levels. I think maybe another thing the play might have viewers do is question their own political awareness or political involvement with the outside world. Basically being passive as opposed to active. But again, I think there actually could be different takes depending on how the audience members, each person, how they individually feel. Because the play, well, I don't want to give anything away, so I won't say anything more. And then I guess finally, as for the family members, is it a critique? Does the play call for empathy? We're definitely caught up in something much bigger than we can understand what to make of that. And finally, what I was sort of talking about before in terms of examining different types of suffering, I think the one thing the play does clearly convey is that people do suffer in different ways and they do cope in different ways. And as for the coping, do we each have an inner resilience and strength that we can rely on and count on when things are at its bleakest? And I guess I'll just leave viewers with my mom's motto, actually, with which I have gone on and adopted for myself, but there is more to this than meets the eye.
Love it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. That was wonderful. I think it's so exciting to get to actually do this play in Zoom. It's got a really cool double dynamic when it's it's about this time and it's finding a way, as we were talking about, to keep arts essential in their own way and to do a play like this about this time via the internet is very exciting. So I'm very excited to get to produce it and see it.
Absolutely. I've been so fortunate and so grateful for this opportunity because, as I said, I wrote this last August and September, and then, I was submitting it and really hoping for a virtual opportunity and with an actual theater company and to be able to share it with as many people as possible. And so it definitely, as obviously I want these times to end so badly, but at the same time, while I was writing this and as I was trying to get it produced, of course, I was if this could possibly be produced while we're still, sadly, in the thick of it, I do think that would, heighten viewers' experience of the play and allow them to just get as much as they can out of the play to actually see it while we're still in these times. So definitely.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I guess just like the whole experience of writing the play and now getting it produced while we're still in these times, and just the trajectory of that whole experience has been really interesting and also really meaningful.
Awesome. Thank you. We're so excited to have you as a part of the festival. So that's all of the questions that I have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add about anything you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just definitely give a shout out to my amazing cast. So Maya Danziger, who will be playing the mother. Well, actually, her nickname is Mops, and her real name is Jane in the play. And then we also have Kelvin Han Yi, who is playing the father of Robert, aka Plops. And then we have Amber Gatlin, who is playing Alexa, the alarm clock robot voice, and also reading stage directions. And then major shout out to my amazing director, Vanessa Lancelotti, of course.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining this live video. As a reminder, everyone, this play will be on Monday, March 29th at 7 p.m. We hope to see you there. The link is in our bio to our website where the tickets are. They are free, but that's how you can get the link to watch it. And thank you so much, Marina. I'm so excited for people to get to see your play.
Thank you so much.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.